Alright guys, it's Sky Masters here. We're going to be doing another No Man's Sky Save Editor video. Today's date is 9/25/2023. So, hopefully you guys are watching the right video. Sometimes they kick you guys to other videos, but pretty much they're all about the same. The installation's about the same. They only add a couple new features here and there. So, I'm going to take my time a little bit and kind of hand walk through some of the newer people, because I get a lot of comments and they're about the same things pretty much all the time. And it's one of three things pretty much. That being said, there are a lot of unique variations that could happen with different systems, but we're going to cover the big three right now. All right, so what you're going to want to do is, if you want, down in the all the links for this are going to be down in the description. So if you want to follow along, you can do that, or you can just listen to me type it out. You can just Google it too as well. You can type in github.com/goatfungus/NMS save editor. I love saying goat fungus. But that's going to lead you right here to this page. Some people get hung up on this page and they don't know exactly which buttons to hit. So you got all this stuff on here and you're looking at it, and you should read down there, and you're reading all it. By the time you get back up here, you're like, what the heck is going on? Well, first of all, you're going to hit this little green code and download the zip. But let me stop right there for everybody, because some people don't have a zip, and some people get caught up with not reading everything in here. And as you're reading through here, one big key element, the most important one here, is this Java Runtime Environment 8. All right. If you don't have this, when you open up the file folders, it won't even open. It's going to be like, how do I open up? I don't know what to do. So if you don't have this on your computer, the file is just going to sit there and, well, your computer doesn't know what to do with it. So I just wiped my computer. So I went to go open it, and I was like, oops, I guess I got to set my PC up. And then I figured, well, it's going to be time for me to update it. So I'm going to make a video, and it's going to be pretty detailed. So all right, we got the Runtime Environment 8, and we also have, we need to download a zip file. And while we're talking about zip files, I like iZark because I just had to download this. So the reason why I like iZark is because that when you download it, it asks you if it wants to take over certain files, and I just like that it just does it. The presentation of iZark is it's just really good. I had 7-zip and I just didn't like it. iZark takes over everything, and it does it very well, and it doesn't really step on any of my other programs. I've never had a problem with it. So I'm just going to put my stamp of approval on iZark. I just like it. So that's the one I like to use, and that's how I unzip my files. That's just a little side note there. Back to the goat fungus here. We are going to download this. So we're going to go all the way back up to the top, and you're going to download this. Hit the code button, the green little button at the very top, and hit download zip. And then we're just going to boing, and it's going to go in there and start into the downloads. Now, as you're reading all this information and going woo wow, down here you see that it has a Java Runtime Environment 8. Go ahead and just click this button, and that's going to take you over to the Java Runtime Environment 8 downloader. This is a safe site. I just had to do it, so I just went and did the same thing here, and I chose the Windows offline 64-bit because I don't want an installer. I don't need a wizard thingy. It's pretty small. It happens pretty quickly. So I chose the offline 64-bit, and these all went into my download folder. Okay, so open up your download folders. You want to install the iZark. Okay, go ahead and do that really quickly. If you want to, if you have your own zipper, then that's fine. Disregard that command and move on. You want to go ahead and run the Java when you go into the Java tab, and when you download that, go ahead and run the Java installer and get that going. Now, once you have done those two things there and you got that going, you can download the No Man's Sky Save Editor from the GitHub here that you did and open it up in your Downloads folder. And what I would do next before that is go ahead and make a file on your desktop and call that NMS Save Editor, or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. I call mine NMS Save Editor, and I have mine right here, as you can see. Now, you just downloaded the Save Editor. I'll go into my download folders, and you can see that I've got my Save Editor right there. And what I'm going to do is open it up. You can see that iZark has this nice, nifty little package emblem saying that, hey, I've got this file under control. I know what to do with it. So I open this up. When you first open this thing up, it gives you this little box right here. I don't know why this opens up. It's just some long code of gibberish. Maybe somebody who knows more than I do can tell me in the comment section if that is significant. As far as I know, I just click close and just move on, and it's never made a difference to me in my life. So, all right. So what you're going to want to do is open up this folder again. And for you new people, go over here and you can just drag this into that folder that you just named NMS Save Editor that is on your desktop. Okay. For me, and maybe for some people that are updating like me, I'm about to update mine. I'm going to open up these files right here, and you can see that I already have some in my file folder, but I'm going to replace them. So I'm just going to drag and drop as well. So it's moving them over. It's going to ask me if I want to replace them, and I'm going to say yes. So me and you guys just all did the same thing, except for some of you guys were dragging them over to an empty folder, and you just populated that folder with new stuff, and I just replaced some things. Now, for you new guys looking over at my folder section, you guys see that I have a couple of these folders at the top called Backups, Bases, Exported, and Red Moss Generator. Don't concern yourself with those right now. You're actually going to get these top three folders here in just a minute when you start using the Save Editor. So now that we've got this all open, let's take a look in here. And I'll tell you right now, if you're looking at this right here, you see this executable jar file. You see how it looks like it has a little cup of coffee as an emblem, as the icon for the file folder. That is going to let you know that the Java Runtime Environment 8 is working on your PC, okay? If you see just little blank file folders over here, you don't have the Java Runtime 8 environment on your PC, and when you go to open this up, it's going to be like, I don't know what I'm doing. So, if you're running into a roadblock right here, this is the problem. You got to go get the Java Runtime Environment 8. Link is in the description. Go get it and then come back, all right? So, now that you've gotten this far, I just want to talk one real quick thing, okay? This backup folder up here is super cool. When you go in here, I just deleted mine, but I had like hundreds of files back here. Every time I open up the Save Editor, it saves a backup for me. And it's one of the coolest features of the Save Editor. So you got to think like I can save a point in time and then go off in a different direction and make a different alternate reality, and then I can come right back to this point right in here. So I can save a perfect point in time and drag it over into a new folder. It's pretty cool, okay? We'll talk about that in a little bit, in a minute, okay? I know it's wrap your head around a whole bunch of stuff right now, but that is the coolest thing that the Save Editor does, and you don't even really need to dive into it and really use it. You just open it up and close it, and it makes one automatically, so that is super cool. Let's go ahead and open it. This is the next step where a lot of people get hung up, is telling this file, the program here, where to look at to go find your files, okay? So for you guys, it's not going to be in your game folders or wherever you installed Steam at. That's not the location. You're going to go into your save folders, which is going to be on your PC main drive, and it's going to be in your user folders with your name on it, whatever yours is, and it's going to be in app data, roaming, hello games, NMS, and you'll see this big long number, okay? I'm going to take you guys up there. You're going to go up here to the top left, and you go over to Open File Path. Click that. I am already at mine, so let me back up here for you guys, okay? We're going to go onto my C drive. Okay, you see my C drive is here, and then We're going to go into users. We'll go into mine is going to be Cryos, whatever you guys want to do. Cryos, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to go into app data. And then I'm going to go into roaming. And then we can see Hello Games down here. NMS. And then you can see my Sky Masters YouTube save right there. You click on that and then click open. All right. Boom. Now it knows where to look. That is pretty cool. Now, for you other guys on Xbox and stuff like that, I don't go down that road. I don't do it. There's some video called Nom Nom. I don't really know if it's been updated. I'm not going to talk about that yet, or the PS4 saves or that save wizard. So don't message me in the comment section about it, because I don't care to keep up on those. I've brushed over them once or twice. They have some really good discords on it. Go ask them guys. They're really nice and they know way more than I do. All right, so now that you've told the save editor where to look, now it's got this some direction, and you'll see that the save path down here is opened up, and that's where I can read it from. You can see, follow my cursor right up here, and you can see that it says C drive, users, Krios, app data, roaming, Hello Games, NMS, and my long number majiggy. Okay, now that that's in there, I can go ahead and open up that save for that game right there. Okay, so this is all of my saved games on that account. This is where people get, they don't understand what these are, and they get a little bit mixed up. So if you're in a game with a character, and then your son is in the game with his own character, and then your wife is playing on another character, that's 3 of these, okay? There are 3 different saves on here. They might be a creative and a normal. There's no way to name them or know. They're just going to have to look at dates, and who knows, man? If everybody was in there on the same time with the normal, you would have to look at the actual timestamps at the very end to variate the differences between them. So some confusion can get set up in here if you're not looking at it, okay? But once you got in, you should kind of be able to tell by the character stats and stuff like that, unless you just didn't know. So this is where you need to pay attention of what's going on, okay? Now I'm just going to pick a random one here. I'm going to pick a creative slot here, and I'm going to go into it. Now underneath this, now that I've chosen one of my slots here, underneath this is my backup section. It says save file, but this might as well just say backups. So every time you open and close, it's going to save a backup. This is where I was just telling you guys in the very beginning, that folder called backups, usually it has like 100 and something backups in it. I just deleted them because I'm going to start some new stuff as of today. And as of today, I'm going to start watching out what happens, and I might break the game with doing some shenanigans, okay? So when I mess the game up tomorrow and I'm going, oh my goodness, I really broke some things, I can go, you know what? I'm just going to go back to yesterday. And I'm going to go down here and find my yesterday slot. Okay. Now, these files that are down in here you're going to find in this folder back here on your desktop that says backups back here, they're going to have this long number. You can't change the number coding, but you can slide that folder, that backup file into a folder and rename it like the best spot ever. I'm at my base with all my stuff, and now I'm about to go off to certain death, and I'm saving it right here because I have no idea what I'm about to do. Boom. You can take an alternate path off and go this way, and if you don't like it or you do like it, you can just live 2 different lives and go this way, and then you have 2 different saves. Now you can save those saves. So now if you want to load that up, it'll ask if you want to load it. But also what you can do, or what you can do here too, so say I'm in this save right here, I can go into save as. I'm in slot 2 creative, and I like what's going on here, and I want to make this on another save and take off in a different direction on 2 different saves. I can hit save as and then go to a new empty slot over here, or replace another one and move on. And that's another way of duplicating and going into another alternate universe where you took a different path. So a lot of powerful stuff here. You can go different directions, and you can save a precise, perfect moment within the game. And I think that's a powerful tool. All right, we haven't really even dove into the tool yet here. So, all right, that's a long breath right there, okay? Now we can go back up to right up here by File. We go over here by Edit. We can see Coordinate Viewer. This is kind of cool. Before we even go into the tool, this shows you where you're at. This shows you your glyphs. And if you want to view it in different forms, you have it right here. And if you want to go somewhere, you can come right in here and pick your spot and then take off and hit save and get out of here. And then boom, you'll be randomly spit out in some galaxy that you chose. Or you can go specifically and type in the coordinates. We can get into that later. That's going to be a more advanced video, but we're not going to be touching that today. I'll show you kind of where to get that at. So with that being said, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this here really quickly. Now that you guys are in and understand this section right here and how to get in and understand what you're looking at and which save it is and then where your backups are at, you can go up in here and edit. And then this top section here, coordinate viewers. You don't want to worry about test mode, import and export. I don't think you're going to be getting into that. Editing raw JSON can be kind of cool. We'll maybe touch on a few different things in there. And if you're going to be making bases and manipulating things in Blender, this is be something that you'll be getting into later. I'm going to be talking about that because I have to re-download Blender 2 because I lost everything on my PC. So we're going to be talking about these slots here in just a minute because those are important as well. So the first thing that I like to talk about when I get into the save editor is the meat and potatoes, and that's the discoveries down here and the accounts tabs, because I think the coolest stuff in the game is the stuff that it's hard to get. And well, the Twitch drops really make me mad because I think Sean should give those away to everybody. So you can get the Twitch drops in here. I want to say this right now. There is a mod called Consumerism by WinderTP. Hopefully I can remember to put a link in the description down there. It's a lot easier to get this Twitch drops. But if you want to do it, you can click these right here and then go into the game in offline mode. Just turn your internet off and go into the game. Go grab your stuff, turn your internet back on, voila, okay? That's how you do this one right here. This is the only section that is like that. The rest of them, you can click in and just go get it. You can see that I have mine all clicked on, and I can go and get these rewards anywhere. And if I wanted these, I'm gonna say it again real slowly, click these boxes, all right? Turn your internet off, go into the game, go to the Quicksilver store, grab whatever you want, and then leave. But if you want to do this in-game and instantly, go get the mod called by WinderTP, Consumerism, and it's instantaneously done. All right, so that covers the account tabs. Milestones and reputations. I don't know if this is transferable over. I don't really mess with this. I don't think that Steam would recognize this. If you guys want to try to like fool Steam, it's not going to give you any kind of those the little badges that you get on Steam. It's not going to work. So whatever on that. The big gusto here is the discoveries. Okay, you can come in here and nitpick these. You can go in here and find all this stuff and add it one by one. But if you want to do them all, you can come down here and hit Add Technology. Okay, you can add one by one if you want. But if you want to add them all, I'd come in here and click and hit Control A, and then hit Add. And that added them all, okay? And you can do this over here with known products really quickly. I can go over here, open up the tab, click on one, hit Control A, and hit Add. It will add them all. And then you can hit Learn All, and then same with the known glyphs. I have been warned through the grapevine that this, if you turn all these on before you finished all the main quest, that this could stifle progress through some of the main quest. So be warned on turning all this stuff on, and if you find yourself in a quest that just won't progress, especially to do with these glyphs on finding all 16 of them, I just heard that this can be unsettling on some of those. So you've been warned, okay? Let's take another breath. Okay, now I'm going to bounce back over to what I think is the next most important thing. And I hate to bounce over. Some people complain about this, but this is the next most important thing. So we're going to go all the way over from this Discovery tab. We've been kind of going this way. I'm going to bounce all the way back over to Exosuit up here at the top here. And let me pull this down here for you guys. You can see the tabs all the way across the top here with the Exosuit multi-tool ships. And we're going to bounce over to the Exosuit here. All right. Now, when you're in here, let's pull this down a little bit. You can see if you guys can get it all. When we're in here, they're all going to look about the same. We got some stats over here on the left-hand side. And then we have different sections because our backpack has different sections. We have a cargo section and we have a technology section, okay? And then we can see that here we can manipulate the in here, and then we can go back to our cargo section. Now this is all going to about act the same, okay? First thing I want to say is when you're manipulating these stat numbers over here, you can't go beyond what the game can handle. So what you can do over here is just go 99999, and you're done, out of here. Okay, it's going to correct you to whatever highest value that it will accept, and that's all you can do. All right, so we can just keep on going through. If you just want to max everything out, and I'm sure that's what we want to go at, and bam, you can just type it in there. It's not going to let you overvalue things or overdo anything. Okay. Now, if you want to manipulate things, so like go into your cargo, we can drag and drop. Let's go ahead and let me delete one of these items. You can drag and drop, and that's really cool. Before that, we couldn't do that in the game for the longest time, and doing it in here was such a valuable thing. So what I'll do is click on an empty spot. What I'm going to do is click a right click, and it's going to go open everything up, and I can hit an add item, and you can go down this file tree here. This is how you add items to it. Depending on which section you're in, you'll get a different file tree. I'm not going to go down these file trees for you. I will tell you a couple tips and tricks to get it through here. While you're typing in, say you're looking for a stasis device, if you're typing in stasis, don't hit enter. You have to go over here and click it. Okay, so boom, we just added a stasis device. And when I go in here to add item, it'll be still on stasis device. So we can click in here, go into tradable. We can back out of that and then open. Well, it's not going to search it. All right. Anyway, we could have doubled it. I can't back out of it to reverse that file tree. I thought we used to be able to do that, but go in here and play around a little bit. This is where you can get lost for a long time on items, and we could spend days on it. It would be too long of a video, but right click add item is a big deal, and that's how you add items. And in here it's going to be products and stuff like that. If we go into our technology slot and we hit add item, we are going to be looking at technologies, procedural, and suit. We're going to be getting a different file tree in those, so that's why you see things differently, and this is how you find the different categories of cargoes in your suit, you know, your technology and your cargo sections. So that is how you do that, and pretty much that's going to follow through on all the rest of the tabs. Now, if you're noticing that all mine are all the way open, but some of you guys are not going to be open. So I wish I can unenable the slot. So so some of you might be grayed out, and you're going to be like, okay, so I do want to enable the slot. And you're like, oh, well, let's enable all slots. That would be good, right? We can enable all slots, and that's pretty cool. And if you want to be nitpicky, that's fine. If you want to do I'm going to just cheat a little bit, that's pretty cool. But I don't think we're all here to cheat just a little bit. We're here to cheat all the way. So what to do on this to take a really good shortcut is to go up here to this edit tab, and we're going to go down in here, and we can hit expand all inventories. And then we can go into the same thing again, go into edit and go into enable all slots. So what that would have done is like it expanded you all the way out and then enable all the slots. all at once for everything in all your save files. So that does it, all of it. So now you're maxed out everywhere. And while you're in here, take a look at the rest of the stuff here too, because I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Recharge all technology. It's going to recharge your whole thing. Okay, refill all stacks. Everything is all the way filled. Recharge your base planters. All your base planters are going to be all done. All slots and all technology, all repaired. Everything's working. So you can come in here and hit all these right here, and pretty much your game is going to be 100% really good to go and set. And then you can come in here and fine tune and fill all your slots to your heart's content. And that, my friends, is how you open up the game here for yourselves. And as we move on through these tabs, they're all pretty much function the same way, just like that. So you're going to hear me say the same thing over and over. We're going to go into multi-tool. There's a few differences in here. We can get, because we have different slots for multi-tools, so we can pick which multi-tool that we have over here. There would be the name there, the type of the multi-tool. We can see that we have our Royales, and we have our Sentinels, and our switch, custom switch ones, and the staffs are pretty cool. The atlases are pretty cool. So you can come in here and just fill up all your slats, and maybe even randomize, generate these little numbers, and figure out which ones that you like, and then come and write them down, and then you can save them. Right down here at the very bottom, you can export this, and this is where you have the export file that's in the very in your desktop folder where I told you to make the No Man's Sky save editor folder. It's going to be in your exported. So once you export, when you're in here in the program and you export it, that's where that file goes. It'll ask you what to name it, so you can name it some kind of whatever, the color or wherever you're at. You can do this with pets and everything else too. So pretty cool. Right click, add item, do whatever your heart's content in here. There is no other section, so you don't have to worry about that. And now we can move on to ships. Pretty much the same thing, man. You got all your ships, your different kinds here that you can pick. Once you go into one, you can have your name there. You can change its type, whatever you want to. You can change its class, whatever you want to. Change the seed. Now the seeds are kind of cool. If you want to find super cool seeds, type in No Man's Sky seeds, and you might be able to find the ship that you want a lot easier than going out and hunting it down. You can find them instantly. If you want the white squid, there's a number for it, and you can copy and paste it, and you can paste it in with your squadrons too, and you can be a whole squadron of white squids flying around. It's pretty damn cool. All right, so your health and everything else down here, again, man, you can just nail in a whole bunch of 9s and max it all out, and you can, to your heart's content. The game is, the tool is not going to let you over exaggerate any numbers. You're not going to invent any new things that anybody's ever done. It's going to set you within a limitations, okay? And if you have something that you like, you can import and export this ship as well. Now, in your ships, you're going to have cargo, and you have your technology. So this is pretty cool to play around in here. Again, you got some really cool, you can supercharge all the slots. I don't even know about all this. You guys are blowing my mind. You guys can leave something in the comment section and talk about that. That's super cool. I haven't even got into that. I've been in the game for so long that I'm new again. So pretty crazy, huh? Yeah, so that's a lot of cool stuff in here, and organizing that. Squadron, here's a, it's pretty self-explanatory. The ship type and ship seed, like here, like if you want your squadron to look same exactly as your ship, copy and paste your ship seed into these slots, and then save it, and you will have the same ship in a whole squadron flying together. And I think this is a pretty self-explanatory tab. Same thing with freighters here. Here's your freighter. Your name. You can change the type and class of it right here and here. The seeds, model seeds, hyperdrive capabilities, fleet coordination. Pretty cool. You can add stuff to your storage just like anything else. What I think is pretty cool about these is the technology slots. There is some cool old legacy stuff from way back in the day that you can use, and you can jump all the way across one galaxy in one jump. So pretty cool. Frigates, man, these are pretty self-explanatory. You can go in here and change all these stats and find what you want. And then also down here, like say I like these, and I find the one that I want, and I change it, all the stats, and I make it an S class and everything else. I can just sit there and copy it over and over, and you see how I just copied it. So go in here, erase all these, find the one that you want, copy it all the way down. You can have as many whatever you want. It's pretty crazy. It's a pretty fun thing to do. Okay, I have a good time with this as well. So now we're gonna go over to this Frigates tab. No, it's vehicles. Okay, so vehicles here, we got our different types, whatever you have in your inventory. You can see that some of these are still grayed out. For some reason, vehicles have their own rules and regulations to this, so they have their own patterns. You can't get rid of it. I can't enable this slot. It's you can't do it. So that's it. You have cargo and technology, the same thing here. Technology is really cool on this. Boost it. You're going to be sliding all over the place. It makes it really, really, really fun. Companions, very cool. Just like tools, your multi-tools in the other section. Down here at the bottom, you can import and export it. I think this really gets cool. You can change its home world, so you can make it lay eggs on a lush planet instead of wherever the hell it came from. It gets really, really cool. Okay, I think the pet section was a really good added feature, and it's pretty dang cool. I think you could add changing sizes would be awesome in here. I think that would be cool. Bases and storage. Now I'm not going to get into this section right here too much. Storage is self-explanatory because it's all about the same as the rest of the stuff. Now there is a backup and move base computer and stuff like that. I can't tell you how to use that because I use Blender for that, and I think it's way better and way more powerful to instantaneously save your bases and any other bases that are around you that you can pick up in your files system too. So if you're there and you can see it, you can save it and it's yours. And that will be on one of my videos coming up here pretty soon, so we'll be talking about that. So that gets us to the end right here, and we pretty much talked about the whole thing. So we've talked about these whole tabs up here at the top. We've gone backwards. We started this way, worked our way. We came over here to the Exosuit and started on that, the important stuff. And these all kind of look about the same, and the UI is pretty much the same through it. So come in here, you have to play around. I can tell you that this thing has a fail-safe of every time you back up, and if you change something, it's going to ask you, do you want to save? If you don't want to save, you can just say no. All right, and it's going to say it does that pretty well. Now for the more advanced users, if you want to come in here and look at your JSON file, we'll come up here and edit the raw JSON really quickly. We'll talk about a few different things. If you're into your going into manipulating your bases, you're going to go into player state data, and then you'll go down to your persistent player bases, and you can see that I've got my bases here, and then there's some a couple of different other things too that you can play around with in here as well. There's some pets. There's a couple of different options that you can mess with on pets. It's kind of cool to see how these files work. I also change pets descriptors right here, so I've been taking like certain lines like this and maybe switching it with a different pet from over here and taking a head from this and that. It doesn't always work out, but it's kind of fun. I've kind of gotten out of it, but if you guys want to get into something like that, it's kind of cool. And then I even think down here at the bottom, there's something called I have a video about it where you can make yourself bigger. There's a file down here to make yourself bigger. It's not all that important. If you want to know, there's videos of me talking about it, and I just haven't done it in a while, so I don't remember the name of the file, and there's so many of them. I'm not going to sit there and stammer over my words to find it, but you guys get the gist. Now listen, you just got to go in here and play around. It's going to ask if you want to save everything. Let me just open up that JSON file one more time here, and I want to show you guys something. It's like a safety feature. So let's just say I'm coming in here and I'm like, I was just talking, I'm like, whoops, I just hit a couple letters, man, and that's important stuff right there, man. You don't want to fuck this up, all right? So when I go in here to go X this out, it's going to be like, you made some changes. Do you want to save it? I'm like, no, man, I don't want to save that. And I just did a whole bunch of changing here. Did I like it? I don't know. So when I go to close it out, it's going to be like, you want to save the data before closing? No, man, I just did a whole bunch of jackassery stuff. I don't know. So I don't. And that pretty much wraps up the video and how to go through the No Man's Sky save editor, how to install it, how to basically run through it. And if you want to dive in a little bit further, you can go into the JSON file and start messing around with that. I would suggest maybe looking into the Blender videos that I have. I'll be reinstalling Blender and doing the plugin freshly all over again. So I've already done the videos and they're probably going to be the same, but if you want to see a new one coming up, I'll be doing that probably within a few days of the upload of this video here. So hit that like and subscribe if you like what you see. I'll see you guys on the next video. Call somebody up, tell them that you love them.